In 1922, deep beneath the sands of Egypt's Valley of the Kings, archaeologists broke open a sealed door that had not been touched for over 3,000 years. What they found inside would make headlines around the world, but what followed would terrify them. Within months, the people who entered that tomb began to die, one by one, in mysterious, unexplained ways. This is the story of the curse of Tutankhamun. To understand the curse, we must first understand the king. Tutankhamun was not a great warrior. He was not a conqueror. He was a child. He became Pharaoh of Egypt at just 9 years old. A boy, ruling the most powerful civilization on earth. His reign lasted only 10 years. He died at 19. The exact cause, still unknown to this day. Was it an accident, a disease, or something far darker? His young body was mummified, sealed with gold, and buried deep inside a hidden tomb in the Valley of the Kings. The entrance was covered, the stairs were buried, and for 3,000 years, no one found it. Until Howard Carter did. November 4th, 1922. Howard Carter, a British archaeologist, had been searching the Valley of the Kings for years. Most people told him he was wasting his time, that everything had already been found. But Carter refused to give up. Then one morning, a worker clearing sand stumbled upon something strange. A stone step, then another, and another. 16 steps leading down into darkness. Carter sent a telegram to his patron, Lord Carnarvon, thousands of miles away in England. It read, "At last have made wonderful discovery in valley, a magnificent tomb with seals intact." Carnarvon rushed to Egypt. Together they stood before the sealed door. Carter made a small hole and held up a candle. What he saw made him speechless. Carnarvon asked, "Can you see anything?" Carter replied with 3 words that would go down in history. "Yes, wonderful things." Inside the tomb was breathtaking. Gold, statues, treasures beyond imagination, all perfectly preserved for 3,000 years. But above the entrance to the inner chamber, some claimed there was an inscription, a warning. "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king." What happened next sent shockwaves across the world. Lord Carnarvon, the man who funded the entire expedition, fell ill just weeks after entering the tomb. He died on April 5th, 1923. He was 57 years old. The official cause? A mosquito bite that became infected, but at the exact moment of his death, all the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out. Across the ocean, at his estate in England, his dog howled and dropped dead. People began to whisper. The curse was real, and it was only getting started. Carnarvon was not the last. Arthur Mace, one of Carter's closest assistants, fell into a deep coma shortly after the opening and never recovered. George Gould, an American who visited the tomb, died of a sudden fever the very next day. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, the radiologist who x-rayed the mummy, died mysteriously 3 days later. A total of 11 people connected to the opening of the tomb died within a few years. Newspapers called it the mummy's curse. Scientists tried to explain it. Toxic mold, ancient bacteria, radiation, but none of those theories were ever proven. Howard Carter himself. He lived until 1939, 16 years after opening the tomb. Perhaps the pharaoh chose who to punish. Today, Tutankhamun's treasures sit in a museum in Cairo. Millions of people have seen them. The mummy itself has been studied, scanned, and tested. And yet, the mystery of his death remains unsolved. The lights that went out in Cairo that night were never explained, and the warning above the tomb, whether it was real or invented by journalists, 11 people found out the hard way. So the next time someone tells you history is boring, remember, 3,000 years ago, a boy king was buried with a warning, and the world is still talking about it today. If you want more stories like this, subscribe, because we're just getting started.